What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000, back in the place to be, and welcome back to EverQuest 2. Welcome to the ruins of Varsoon as we continue on our EverQuest 2 vanilla dungeon tour. I am level 24, getting pretty close to level 25, and what I'm actually gonna do, let's go ahead and pop this EXP potion here. This is Cash Shop EXP potion, so totally pay to win here, but I think it's like, I think that was like 99 cents. I'm not sure. Can't remember how much it costs, but it's really a small amount. And you also get free currency with your monthly subscription, so you can easily buy EXP potions like I just used without really having to dig into your wallet outside of the monthly fee. So don't worry about that. I'm in here with my guild, the Mystic Order. So we're having some fun here in the ruins of Varsoon. This dungeon is pretty cool because the biomes change very quickly. So when you first come in, you're in this kind of cave area where you're fighting bats and spiders and things like that. And then quickly you find out that there is something more sinister going on at the very bottom of this dungeon. And you can kind of start seeing that there's lots of clay guardians around. I'm gonna mez this because I'm pro. Boom. Hey guys, there's something here. Very quickly, you'll start seeing the mobs change. And this is something that I give EverQuest 2 props on in every one of my dungeon videos. And this video is not gonna be any different. But this game is very good at giving you multiple different biomes in a single dungeon. So you feel like you were getting deeper and deeper inside of a dungeon. You're finding more and more about what's really going on. You never go into a dungeon where it's just like one theme and that's it. There's always something else. And that's actually pretty cool. So here we are fighting some clay golems. If you've never watched one of my EverQuest 2 videos before, I'll kind of give you a rundown of what's going on here. So in EverQuest 2, this game is notorious when it comes to hotkeys. Like just way too many hotkeys. Like EverQuest 2, like a lot of people give World of Warcraft a lot of flack for doing what they call ability pruning. So every few expansions, WoW or Blizzard will go through and kind of get rid of abilities and just kind of like merge things together, delete certain abilities, that type of thing, because it just gets ridiculous. When you're a 10-year-old game, you can't keep adding buttons. Like that doesn't make any sense. And people on the forums will go crazy and cry about, oh, they took away the buttons, they're dumbing down the game. No, you don't want to have 50 million buttons. So I say all that to say this, EverQuest 2 does not do that whole ability pruning thing that Blizzard does. So this game will continue to give you buttons all the way through every single expansion, and it gets a little much. So if you kind of look at my ability bar here, I have all my debuffs here on my Alt 1 key, I have all my dots on my Q key, I have all my direct damage abilities on my R key, and then I have all of my AoE abilities on my 3 key. And there's macros built into the game, so you can actually use macros right here to kind of create your ability, or you can. There's an in-game tool to create macros, so you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to type any commands or anything like that. The game will make macros for you. All you have to do is say, I want this ability, this ability, this ability on one key. Boom, 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 the macro does it for you. So, it makes it a little bit easier to manage here in EverQuest 2, since you get so many abilities, and a lot of them are so redundant. Now, as you can see, like my mez button, of course I have that separate, right? My stun button, that's separate. You know, my mana button, that's separate. But when it comes to direct damage ability, or when it comes to damage abilities overall, dots, debuffs, that type of thing, it's just not worth pressing each individual button. So if you're coming back to EverQuest 2, keep that in mind. You'll get to the point where you just won't have enough keyboard to use all of your abilities. So don't be scared to use macros. And just kind of pile them in on one button and just spam them, you know? And that's unfortunate. That's kind of my biggest beef with EverQuest 2, is that they just have neglected their combat, and they haven't done a really good job of keeping it current, right? And this is why WoW is still a game, and games like Rift, EverQuest 2 are not, because it's all about. So let me back that up. So those games still exist, like EverQuest 2 and Rift still keep making new expansions, but the way you stay relevant is to keep keep refining your base game, right? You have to keep refining the foundation of your game, and that's something that WoW always does. They go back, they redo old zones, they look at old abilities, they keep refining their old baseline foundation of the game, where these other games, like, you know, like I said, EverQuest 2, a game that I really, really like, so I'll still criticize it even though I like it. Games like this, they don't really have the budget or the money or the teams, so they really can't afford. I'm giving them such a pass. I'm thinking because of the fact that the game is so small, they can't afford the manpower to go through and refine a lot of abilities. I think it would be very good for the company. I think it'd be worth the effort, but I understand why they keep their focus on new expansions and things like that to kind of keep it going. So whatever, we're not here to talk about WoW. We're here to talk about the ruins of Varsoon. Now this is a really cool room because this is where they make the clay golems. Once again, like I always say, EverQuest 2 dungeons are so good because they tell a story. As you go through the dungeon, you really realize what's going on in this place. So we saw all of those clay golems as we came down here and fought. Now we see these incomplete golems that don't even aggro. Like they don't even know what their purpose in life is just yet. So they're all incomplete guardians. And you can see kind of the clay molds. And here's some arms here, a little butcher knife where he's making the golems. All kinds of stuff. There's molds over here, hanging arms. I should be helping my group. But this is like I said, this is the really cool thing about EverQuest 2, is that you get to kind of, you can learn about what's going on inside of a dungeon without opening a single lore book. Like, you don't have to read lore, you don't have to go through a bunch of quest lines to understand what's going on. You can kind of see it and feel it and like look around. There's also some blueprints over here. Check this out. This is a pretty cool blueprint. No brain. Like, we want these clay golems, but no brain whatsoever. There's some other stuff going on over here. Eventually this is going to spawn like a boss, I think. It's been a while since I've been in here. Go ahead and stun you. Now we are pretty close to 25, which is the halfway mark. Did you just aggro me? We're pretty close to the halfway mark. The max level on this server so far is a level 50. So level 25, almost there. And I think I have several weeks before I have to be level 50. And I don't really necessarily have to be level 50, but that's when the next expansion will be released on this progression server. So I definitely want to be there, but I think we're in good shape. I'm in a much better guild now. The guild that I was in before was kind of like a spam guild where they just kind of invited it was like a day one guild where they just kind of invited everyone. I probably grouped with them like 2 minutes the entire time I've been playing the game, which is not what you want out of a guild. You definitely want to have a guild where you're like, you know, grouping with your teammates and people are in guild chat and, you know, asking for LFGs and things like that. As you can see here, we're all in the same group. I've spent more time in this group in a single day than I have the entire time in my old guild, so not even a comparison. And as you can see, there's like a secret cave over here as well that leads to like a, I'm not gonna go over there and get killed. It leads to like a blacksmith area, I believe. But I'm pretty sure as we kill things, something spawns in this room. But I'm going off like old memories, so I could be totally wrong, but I thought I remembered a boss or something in this room. Oh, wait. No, he's just an aggro. Okay. These things are level 30, heroic, 3 arrow. We're not having any problems whatsoever. Most of the people that are in this group are kind of like EQ2 vets and EQ1 vets as well, so no problems here. Our troll assassin just leveled up. Another really cool thing about EverQuest 2, so many different races, which is awesome. And that's something that I haven't done any research on Pantheon, and I will eventually. I just don't like to look at games when they're just so far out, and I don't think we'll see Pantheon this year. I think at the earliest we'll see it next year. So I really don't like to get my hopes up and kind of read about games until they're a little bit closer to release. But I'm wondering if Pantheon is going to have a bunch of races like EverQuest did and Vanguard did. Because that's something that is an old MMO trope that doesn't really happen anymore, and I have no idea why. Now everyone's so lazy, it's just human and elves now. And it's like, really? There's so many... Like, you have the opportunity to build a world, to build an MMO, and the most creative race you can think of is human and elf. So human and slightly slender human with pointy ears. Like seriously? That's all you can think of? So that's kind of disappointing, but we'll see. Some skeletons just popped over here. Thought engineers. Hopefully you guys are paying attention to that, because we're about to get some aggro probably. So what we're trying to do right now is set up a mentor. And yep, here we go. So in EverQuest 2, if you out-level your friends, you can mentor down. Oh, we just pulled a lot, huh? I'm gonna charm this enchanted clay. And then I'm gonna mess up my camera angle. Someone's fighting this enchanted clay, okay. Alright, I'm gonna mez... No, he has too many dots on him. Waste of time. Waste of time. And the tank's on him as well. That's fine. Kind of overpulled here a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. So the best thing you can do as a class that can mez is to mez one and charm one. So you effectively take two mobs out of the encounter. So, and that's like the best thing you can do. Now in this situation I couldn't mez something, but I charmed something. Oh, no I didn't. It resisted. I'm all talking trash. Like, check out this pro strategy, everybody. And my charm totally resisted because these guys are freaking red to me. So yeah, that makes sense. But the thought was there. The freaking thought was there. Let's see, Necro, I don't need that. I don't need that. I have an ability called Shift Mana that I always try to use outside of, or even I weave it in my DPS rotation as well. And it's basically like if you've played World of Warcraft or any game that has an ability that allows you to get mana back, kind of like a life tap or a mana tap. Shift Mana is exactly the same without any drawbacks whatsoever. It just gives me mana. So I always try to weave it in as much as I possibly can to keep myself topped off. Because when it comes to mezzing things, it takes a lot of mana. Can't see my target. It takes a lot of mana, and I can easily OOM myself by trying to mess something that keeps resisting. Now, typically, things that are my level don't resist, but these level 32s, yeah, they'll definitely resist a few times, as you plainly saw. All right, let's get some looting here. It's all about looting. I wonder if we're gonna camp this room. We typically... Oh, wow. These things are spawning really quickly. Alright, we're leaving. So this is that little secret cave I was telling you about. Oh! This is a cramped place to fight. And this is EverQuest 2, ladies and gentlemen. Like, sometimes you have to fight things in some really cramped, like, not really desirable locations. Like, this is not a desirable location to fight mobs, but this is just kind of the way it is. A lot of other MMOs, they kind of set up their dungeons to be these narrow actually, they set up their dungeons to be these massively open corridors where you are kind of funneled to the boss. There's always plenty of room and plenty of kite. Like, that doesn't happen in EverQuest 2. As you can see, we're in this claustrophobic tunnel where we're like on each other's butt cracks. But it makes sense in the concept of what's going on here. Now, here we are, we're outside here. There is a room full of red skeletons over there, so you gotta be very careful on how you come out of the room. And if you're not paying attention, you will absolutely pull those. And typically, like in other MMOs, you'll go inside of a dungeon and everything's in front of you. Like all of everything that you need to worry about is clearly in front of you, and that's not the case here in EverQuest 2. Like we came out of this little hole here, there was a mob group here, a mob group here. If we weren't careful, that was an instant wipe. I'll take that treasure though. Oh, it was trapped. Sorry. 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 We have an assassin in the group that can disarm traps, so that is a total noob move. Tank's over here just having a good time. No problems here. Just making sure I'm assisting our tank. This is crazy on how much higher level we're fighting here. These level 32s are no joke. See how much experience I'm getting here, so it might not be. So what I've kind of found, let's see, here's my blue bar. Yeah, not bad. Definitely not bad. What I found in EverQuest 2 is that you're probably better off like chain pulling blues and greens as opposed to reds. But I'm okay. I'm not even really here for the EXP. I'm here for kind of the EXP. You know what I mean? I'm not here for the experience. I'm here for the experience. So I'm not really too concerned about trying to power level or anything like that. I'm just here to kind of like just to relive, you know, old EverQuest 2-ness. All right, so we got this room over here. Oop, I don't know why my camera angle always does that. Just do some AoE, debuff, debuff, direct damage because it's low at 8 HP. Then we'll do dots on this one, dots. I got 2 dots. I got 3 dots, but it's not up. Kind of the crappy thing about macros, but it is what it is. I'm not sure what's behind this door. Let's see. Okay, so now we're back in the tunnels with the Clay Guardian. So there are a few more rooms in the ruins of Varsoon here, but for the most part, we've kind of seen, like I said, it starts off very cavey. You're fighting like spiders and centipedes and spiders and things like that. I'm not sure if I said spiders twice. Bats, spiders, and centipedes. That's kind of what you start off fighting. You go a little bit deeper. You start seeing these clay golems. You start figuring out where these clay golems are coming from and the people that are creating them. Of course, undead are always around, so there's some undead here as well. No need to mez this encounter since they're not super strong. And one thing that actually, I don't know why I keep saying one thing. There's lots of things about EverQuest 2 that are really desirable. But a really cool thing that I enjoy is the fact that there's no dungeon finder in EverQuest 2 vanilla. Eventually they add a dungeon finder. We'll talk about that when we get there. But right now there's no dungeon finder. So you get really close to the group that you're connected with. So when you're in the, you know, the very bottom of a dungeon, you feel, you know, compelled to talk to them and learn about them and try to stay with them, as opposed to like other games that have dungeon finders where it's like Alright, I'm done with you guys. I'm about to disband group. See you later. Or see you never, basically. Alright, so we gotta, I'm gonna charm one of these over here. I'm gonna mez this one coming. So I have a 3-star up here. Please don't hit that three heroic. I'm gonna re-mez it right now. So you see this Servant of Varsoon back there? He's a 3-up heroic. That thing will really kind of ruin our day. But I'm gonna keep it mez, and I also have one of them charmed. And this is kind of what I'm talking about here when it comes to playing this class. You can really change the course of a fight. Because I effectively took 2 really powerful skeletons out of that encounter. And that allowed our tank to be able to maintain. It allowed our healers to be able to maintain. It put the focus, the DPS were able to focus on specific targets. All the way around is pretty good. Now I'm gonna kind of go right here in the middle. And then right there, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my charm, because I don't want to keep it. I don't want to keep a pet here because I want to be able to charm something if something goes wrong. So I just dropped that skeleton that I charmed. Let my team kill it. And GG. So something that could have turned into something, you know, pretty wipey, ended up not being so. So pretty good. And like I said here, not every encounter requires you to mez, and that's something that I think a lot of people that play this class, they get bent out of shape, and they start like getting mad at their team for breaking mez. Not every encounter needs you to mez, like legit. Not every single one. Calm down. It's not that serious. Like right now, it's not that serious. There's no reason for me to mez that one. Everyone use their AoE. Let's bring them down. But when it's a heroic 3. And you already have an overpull, you definitely want to get some mezzing done. So that's that. Let's see what else is going on here before we cut the video. Going a little bit deeper. Now I can't remember what the next dungeon is after Ruins of Varsoon. It's not Crushbone, because Crushbone is added to the game later in a later expansion. I don't remember. I don't remember the next dungeon after this, but whatever it is will be there. And of course I'll bring you a video of whatever that dungeon is. So even if you don't want to play EverQuest, I want that. So even if you don't want to play EverQuest 2, if you don't have time for it, or if it's just too old for you or too daunting, follow me on a journey as I kind of show you guys what this game was about in its heyday. Alright, so we have a 3-up tank, or a 3-up boss. I'm not going to mez here because they're all in one encounter. So there's really no ads. Even though there is more than one person, there was 3 skeletons, there's not technically an ad, because all of these were in one encounter. Like, these were all tied together, so no need to mez here. And down he goes, and like I said, top myself off as far as mana is concerned. Greed things that I don't need. Nice, master book right there. That was a very good pull. And I'll be level 25 before you even know it. Alright, we just pulled. I'm gonna take at least one of these out of the encounter with a charm. And I'll go ahead and mez one. And if it breaks, I'm not really gonna worry about it. Oh man, I keep getting resisted here, so we're gonna have to just take this. Because these are just so high level that I can't reliably continue to keep mezzing them. I'll tend to try like once, but I don't want to try more than that because it'll drain my mana so quickly, and if I'm doing that, I'm not doing DPS. So, not worth. This is pretty good too anyway. We got a really good tank, so No problems. Nice job. I don't even know what this room is. Oh, this is the wine cellar, as you can plainly see. Lots of kegs in here. Wine. That's something that you'll see in a lot of EverQuest 2 dungeons. There's usually like a bar, or there's like some type of wine cellar or brewery or something like that. That's a pretty cool thing. Like, they tried to make these dungeons look like someone lived in them. Like, they actually used them. And that's something that I think a lot of other games just don't care about. They're just like, whatever, this dungeon is made to give you loot, the end. Whereas in EverQuest 2, early EverQuest 2 at least, these dungeons were designed to tell you a story and kind of convey a message of the people or the creatures that lived in them. So let's go around one more time before we cut the video here to make sure we didn't really miss anything. We might be doing a loop here. What the heck is this? Wait, did I lose my group? I think we came from that way. Miss that. Okay, never mind. Our tank wants to aggro both of them, which is fine. It's really up to him, to be honest. If he wants to tank both of them, or if he feels like he can tank both of them, fine. Did I get that golem loot? Nope. I want this one too. I need to start working on my my golem lore. Boom, 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 boom. Nope. I don't have any. Oh, yes, I do. All right, let's start studying about golems, and that'll allow us to do our master strike on golems, which is good. Let's see the next room we go to before we cut this one. This is another golem room, right? Yep. Absolutely, a really strong one here. And I want to show you the inside of this one before we cut the video. Man, 30 minutes went by really quickly. Alright, this is like a golem storage room, and actually, I can't get in there just yet. Oh my god, well... Oh, they're all... Never mind. I was like, this is going to be bad. But none of them are up arrowed at all. So they're all pretty weak stuff. That. Anything else in that room? Normally I wouldn't do this if I was not recording. But as you can see, this is kind of like a golem storage room. Oh man, we are gonna go ahead and charm one. Most likely won't be able to do it. This might be a wipe. Alright, I was able to get this one. Finally, no resist. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh my god, this camera. Can we mez this one? Yes, we can. Maybe people will leave that one alone. Nope, our tank. That's fine. We're good to go. Move over here. Yeah, this is a pretty cool room. This is kind of where they store the gold or the clay guardians here. Oop, I don't want to do that. Okay. I'll drop mine. I'm stuck because this guy rooted me like a scumbag. But thank you for your service, Mr. Clay Golem. You will no longer be needed. But I'm gonna grab this collectible up here. Up here. Up here. Up here. I can't get it. I can't get this thing. What a bug. Hold on. We can do this. Nope. We will not be able to get that. Dang it. I really want it, though. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. Anyway, here's this cool golem room as well. So lots of different and cool and unique rooms in this dungeon. You guys want to try? Go for it, buddy. Can you get it? Can you get it? Can you get it? I think this is a good place to stop the video of this buggy collectible that we will not be able to get. It's over, dude. It's over. Our entire group has finally realized what I was looking at. That is hilarious. Anyway, guys, my name is FG3000. This was EverQuest 2, The Ruins of Varsoon. Nice. I don't want to say, oh, did you get it? You did get it. Nice job. Good job. Not a complete look at Ruins of Varsoon, but you definitely get the idea. And none of these videos that I show on EverQuest 2 will be a complete run-through of the dungeon. The video would be so freaking long, and this is already 35 minutes. If I did a complete walkthrough of everything in Ruins of Varsoon, it'd be over an hour and 30 at least. So do keep that in mind. But anyway, I'm FG3000. That is EverQuest 2, The Ruins of Varsoon. I will see you guys in the next dungeon. Later.